She held the $50,000 diamond necklace in her hands, the same one her husband had hidden in his car for another woman. But tonight, it was around her neck. What started as the most humiliating discovery of her life had somehow turned into the most satisfying revenge. And her cheating husband? He had no idea what was coming for him. Hey everyone! Welcome back to my channel where I bring you the most jaw-dropping real-life stories from the Arab world. These are the stories that prove love, betrayal, and revenge know no boundaries. Every culture has its own way of handling relationships, but what you're about to hear transcends all of that. This is pure human drama at its most intense. And trust me, when I say this story will leave you speechless. Today's story is about Basma, and I'm telling you right now, this woman played chess while everyone else was playing checkers. So grab your coffee, settle in, and prepare for a master class in strategic revenge that took 2 years to execute. Basma grew up privileged. Her parents were educated, successful, held important social positions. She was that girl, top of her class, graduated with honors in media studies, landed a dream job at a prestigious media company. She was writing articles, building a following, even designing custom evening gowns on the side for fashion houses. Girl was thriving. Then she met him. He was a reader of her work who was so intrigued by her writing that he tracked her down. When she told him he'd need to go through her parents if he was serious, he actually sent his family to formally ask for her hand. This impressed her completely. They got engaged, and those early conversations were magical. He was supportive of her career, proud of her success. But then the requests started. Why don't you quit your job? I'm jealous of all your male readers. Why do you visit your cousins so much? I get jealous of the men in your family. Why are you wearing that? I'm jealous. Why do you talk to your friends so much? I want you all to myself. And here's the kicker. She thought this was love. She thought jealousy meant he cared. Basma quit her job. She stopped designing clothes. She cut off her friends. She even stopped talking about her own brother because it bothered him. This successful, independent woman turned herself into a shadow, all for a man who said he loved her. But wait, there's more. After they married, he had debts. She offered to help with her savings, and initially he refused, too proud to take money from a woman. But she kept insisting because she loved him, and finally, he accepted half of everything she'd saved. Here's where my blood starts boiling. After taking her money, he stopped giving her spending money. She was buying her own clothes, her daughter's needs, everything from her dwindling savings while he was buying himself a new car every year. Then he came to her with a business opportunity, needed her money to start a company. She said yes immediately. No contracts, no protection, just blind trust. For 2 years, they struggled, barely affording baby formula while building this business with her money and her parents' help. Finally, the business took off. He started making real money, upgrading his lifestyle, but when she asked for household money, I still have debts. Don't let the new car fool you. Basma started noticing changes. He became cold, critical, constantly angry. Every conversation turned into a fight. When she begged him to take her out, just once, he exploded. Go out with you? Where? It's not enough that I have to see your face at home. Now you want me to see it outside too? I'm sick of you. What's new about you anyway? She called her mother crying, and what did Mom say? Be patient, dear. All men go through phases. Just keep being the perfect wife. For 3 months, they barely spoke. She stayed in different rooms, hoping he'd apologize. He never did. Then came the phone call that changed everything. Her brother called about some stocks they'd bought together before her marriage. They could sell for a huge profit. Her share was $100,000. Her brother brought the money to her house and said something she'd never forget. "Guard your money, sister. No one deserves it but you." That night, her husband saw the cash. Suddenly, after months of silence, he was talking to her again, being sweet, taking her shopping. For a whole month, he was the perfect husband, until he came to her with another emergency. He'd made a bad investment in cars, he said. Might go to prison. Could she help? But she did. She gave him everything. That's when people started talking. His frequent business trips. His late nights at work. Basma didn't want to believe it, but the signs were everywhere. She became depressed, started seeing a therapist who just gave her pills and sent her home. She felt hopeless until she ran into an old friend at the hospital. This friend was glowing, happy, healthy, successful. When she asked what was wrong with Basma, something clicked. This friend introduced her to a counselor who specialized in relationship dynamics. This is where our story takes the most incredible turn. This counselor took one look at Basma's situation and said, "You're a dreamer, and that's your problem. Your husband likes strong, independent women, queens, not servants. You threw away your crown the day you quit your job to please him." The counselor explained that Basma's husband was the type of man attracted to challenge, not submission. By making herself completely available and dependent, she killed his interest. But here's the bombshell. The counselor looked at his photo and said, "Your husband is deeply in love with someone else. She's probably a businesswoman, strong personality, doesn't need him. That's why he's obsessed." The words hit Basma like a truck. Basma wanted to deny it, but deep down she knew. The counselor gave her homework. Search his office, his car, anywhere he might hide things, but don't confront him no matter what you find. What she found nearly destroyed her. Hidden in his car, photos of him with another woman in Malaysia, Germany, London. All those business trips with colleagues. He was living his best life with his mistress while Basma sat home alone with their children. The woman's name was Rose. She was foreign, worked at his company. And the most devastating part? There was a love letter where Rose was begging him to bring her to his country permanently, asking him to sponsor her visa. But wait, it gets worse. Basma found a jewelry box. Inside, a $50,000 diamond set. Necklace, earrings, bracelet, watch, ring. The card read, "My darling Rose, I thought about what to get you and remembered you wanted this necklace. Happy New Year. I have a surprise for you tonight." The same man who wouldn't fix his wife's broken engagement ring had bought his mistress a $50,000 diamond set. At this point, most women would have confronted him, right? Screamed, cried, thrown things? Not Basma. She called her counselor. "Take the diamond set," the counselor said. "It's yours now." Here's the genius part. Basma took the jewelry, but made it look like her daughter had been playing in the car and accidentally unwrapped it. When her husband found his gift unwrapped, Basma acted surprised and delighted. "Oh my God, is this for me? Thank you so much." He couldn't say anything without admitting what it really was. The look on his face must have been priceless. But this was just the beginning of Basma's master plan. The counselor helped her transform completely. New clothes, new skills, she learned French, started a new business, became mysterious and independent again. And guess what happened? Her husband started falling for her all over again. He was calling constantly, coming home early, turning off his phone when he was with her. The same man who'd been cold and distant was now pursuing his own wife like a lovesick teenager, because he was finally seeing the woman he'd originally fallen for, but Basma wasn't done. Oh no, she was just getting started. She discovered Rose worked in her husband's company and came up with the most diabolical plan. She offered Rose a job at her new business, better pay, flexible hours, all the perks. Rose accepted. The mistress was now working for the wife without knowing it. Once Rose was under her control, Basma told her husband that immigration had flagged Rose's work permit, and she needed to transfer her sponsorship to avoid legal issues. He agreed immediately. Now Rose was completely under Basma's power. When her husband announced another business trip, Rose asked for time off to visit her sick mother. But Basma had other plans. She convinced Rose to take a business trip instead. All expenses paid, luxury accommodations. The moment Rose's plane took off, Basma went to immigration and canceled her visa, reporting the affair with evidence, photos, messages, everything. Rose was banned from the country for 2 years, later upgraded to permanently banned. The absolute savage energy of this move. But the pièce de résistance? Basma went to the apartment her husband had rented for Rose. Using copied keys, she found all his belongings there: clothes, cologne, personal items, everything that had been missing from their home. She packed all his stuff in bags, sold every piece of Rose's furniture, and left the apartment completely empty. When her husband returned from his trip, he found his clothes and possessions scattered on their marital bed, along with photos of him and Rose. Basma played the devastated wife perfectly. "She brought me these things and told me you were living with her. How could you betray me like this?" The man who thought he was so clever got completely outplayed. He went into full panic mode, calling Rose every name in the book, swearing it was all lies, begging Basma's forgiveness. He had no choice. He couldn't admit the truth without destroying himself completely. Rose tried calling him for weeks, stranded abroad and banned from returning. But he was too terrified of losing Basma to help his former mistress. Karma served ice cold. Basma made him sign agreements before allowing him back home, including a check for a massive amount that she could cash if he ever cheated again. She also made it crystal clear, "I deserve better than you. I'm only staying for the children. If you ever betray me again, I'll make sure our kids know exactly who their father really is, and I'll find myself a husband who actually deserves me." The counselor later explained the psychology behind it all. There's a difference between love and obsession. When someone thinks they might lose the person they're obsessed with, especially to their own actions, they become completely focused on that person and ruthless toward anyone who threatens the relationship. By becoming strong and independent again, Basma triggered her husband's obsession. By threatening to leave, she made herself precious. And by removing Rose from the equation, she eliminated the competition. Today, Basma runs a successful fashion business. Her husband treats her like the queen she always was. And somewhere out there, Rose is probably still wondering how her perfect life with a married man turned into a nightmare so quickly. What do you think? Was Basma's revenge justified, or did she go too far? And honestly, why do some people only appreciate what they have when they're about to lose it? Do you think she should have left her husband? After all, people say that once a cheater, always a cheater. The story ends with Basma learning that respect isn't given, it's demanded. Love without respect is just emotional slavery. And sometimes, the only way to save a relationship is to be willing to walk away from it. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Have you ever had to fight for respect in a relationship? And what would you have done in Basma's situation? If you enjoyed this story, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more incredible real-life stories that'll absolutely blow your mind. Until next time, remember, never dim your light for someone who can't handle your shine.